what's going on, everybody? This is John Shake Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of Bluffton Tech Football here on College Football 25. We started our year off with a disappointing loss to the Miami Hurricanes, but that was a game that we weren't necessarily expected to win. This one is certainly going to be that case, though. We are taking on FCS East, which you guys may know as Rocket City. A nice little shout out to Not the Expert. And on paper, we should handle our business relatively easily. In our matchup against FCS East, the Rocket Men are coming in as a 68 overall team, but we're a significantly better team on paper. We're a 76 overall squad, so my hope for this particular game is that we can come out here and we can just make this a doubleheader because of how we handle business against FCS East. So should be a fun one. Let's see if we can win one, and if the NCAA gods are on our side, maybe a second game here in this episode as well, having that in a positive way. So really excited to get this FCS East matchup underway. Hope you guys are as well. And before I go any further, make sure you go ahead, do a couple of things for me. Hit that like button, as it does reach this video out to more college football fans like yourselves. If you're brand new and you love the vibes here on the channel, definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. I would truly appreciate that. And with that being said, guys, I'll catch you guys out there on the field. Alright, boys, so I figured since we are back at home once again, that I would break out, the yellow alternates. Gotta show love to the alternate jerseys that we have here at Bluffton Tech. So, rocking with the all yellows in this one. Looking nice. I like the contrast. But with that being said, second play of the game here, for our offense, as FCS, East, is one of those triple option teams. So you already know they are going to control the clock as much as possible, and we don't do ourselves any favors. We end up putting the ball on the ground, and a holding penalty is not going to stop that fumble from happening. Now, we do at least get a stop there, but it just goes to show that, in this first quarter, it seems like we were slow up. We were sleepwalking a little bit, to be honest with you. I was honestly disappointed with how we started this game, but nothing we can do about it now. Just got to look at the future, as they're going to go with a play action here over the middle. Nash Berthe was there on the coverage, but with that being said, we will have a 2nd and 5. So that's something that we got to think about in the back of our minds, as Bluffton Tech trying to stop them in the open field, and we can't bring them down. Zambar is going to get a first down, and now this Astronauts team is going to have a automatic first down. They have a red zone opportunity, as that's already going to bring an end to the first quarter of action. It's been that kind of first quarter where, honestly, neither team has really gotten it going, but FCS East looks to change that. So let's see what the Astronauts can do here in this second quarter, as they're going to look to try to punch it into the end zone, and on the run, Bunny is going to still be able to make a play. Touchdown Astronauts, and FCS East is going to have the audacity to take the lead. We're going to be down 7-0. So this could be an absolute nightmare scenario, so we really need our offense to please start waking up. We got to make that happen, and we got to make it happen right now. Will Peoples is going to pick up the first down there on the ground, as we'll go immediately into the no huddle. But on a 3rd and 12, we're going to throw over the middle to CJ Peaks. CJ Peaks will at least be able to bring that one in. Now we are officially in FCS East territory. 1st and 10 following the completion. Armstrong will drop back again. We got a man potentially downfield. We're going to make a play, and it's broken up at the last second. Oh, we almost had a touchdown with Chris Gentry, but couldn't quite haul it in. Couldn't win that 50-50 ball. So now it's going to be a 2nd and 10 coming up, as Armstrong drops back in the pocket, looks over the middle of the field, a tight window, but finds Will Peoples And it was not a bad idea to, leave that slightly behind so that we ensure that it's not led too far up the field. Actually might have worked out to our favor, as Ross John is going to pick up a solid set of yards there. It makes this a more manageable 3rd down. So here we go, 3rd and 5. Looking over to the left-hand side. It's going to be caught. Looks like by Chris Gentry. Might have made that catch there. We'll see if we can make one more play in order to tie things up here. Bluffton Tech on the goal line. Can they bring it in? Thinking about being spicy, but they're going to just try to run it up the gut, and they're going to do it with Will Peoples, who finds the end zone. Touchdown, Fighting Muskrats. And we will have ourselves a tied ball game, as we will be able to be forced to respond to the touchdown that we gave up to FCS East earlier in the quarter. We finally get ourselves on the board. Now, with that being said, 1st and 10 for FCS East, as they'll look to run it back here yet again. And this time getting a little bit spicy as they do a little bit of a reversal, and it works a decent amount, actually. They're able to pick up 5 yards there on the run. It helps set up this 3rd and short where everybody and their mom is basically by the line of scrimmage. And yet FCS is still able to get the push that they needed in order to move the sticks. It's now 1st and 10 for FCS East, as they're going to go ahead and hand it off to the fullback once again, who gets some good blocks downfield, as that's going to be a 1st and 10, as FCS East is putting together a steady little drive once again. This time, quarterback's going to try to keep it, though, but it's going to be absolutely denied by Deshaun Weeks, and Deshaun Weeks is going to force the punt. So we have a chance to possibly take the lead, as that's a nice spin move. Oh, hold up, wait a minute. This could go for a big return, and while we couldn't break the biggest of returns, that's still one of the better returns that we've had in this series. That goes for 20-plus yards. And now we have a chance to really start finding some offensive rhythm, consistency. Oh, baby, look at that. Will Peoples making somebody miss in the open field. He nasty with it. He nasty with it. Well, let's see if we can keep it going. 1st and 10 after the halfback screen. We're going to hand it right back off to our tailback, who's going to plunge forward for a gain of 8 on the play, as we will go ahead and utilize our first timeout. So now, 2nd and short coming up, as Armstrong is going to look over to the left-hand side initially. Didn't love what he saw as he's scrambling with the right. And something that I honestly need to remember is that Armstrong is a left-handed quarterback. So rolling out to the right, while it would work for the majority of quarterbacks, doesn't always work with our guys, as that's going to also be an incompletion as well. But you already know what time it is. Only need to pick up a couple of yards. I'm always going to be a little bit on that aggressive side. Armstrong looks over the middle, finds CJ Peaks, who hangs on to it. That's a 1st down for the Fighting Muskrats, as now we got 1st and 10. Armstrong looking to go to work yet again in the red zone. Looking over to the right-hand side. He's got CJ Peaks. Can't get away from the defender, but we will end up using our 2nd timeout. A promising drive on the way. 2nd and 3 coming up, as Armstrong continuing to make some adjustments at the line of scrimmage, as we'll look to see if we can pull a fast one here, maybe get Ross John on the halfback wheel. But it looks like they were in zone coverage, because that pass is going to end up being intercepted. We can't make the tackle in open field, and all of a sudden, FCS East is going to retake the lead. A 92-yard pick six is going to completely change the tone of this half. We're now down by 7, and we need Armstrong to lead us to another drive as we nearly throw yet another interception. The turnovers have been an issue in this ball game, and that's going to look to possibly continue. Really got to nab that in the butt before we get into the meat of conference play, that's for sure. As now 3rd and short coming up. We are out of timeouts. Let's see if we can make something shake here on this 3rd and 3. Armstrong, we're going to drop back. We might have something here with Chris Gentry down the sideline. And look at this, a big play by Chris Gentry. And now Bluffton Tech is moving. 45 seconds left, but we're back in the red zone. And we're looking for much better results this time around. Play action, looking over the middle. We got an open tight end and Scott McQuarrie, who finds the end zone. Touchdown, Bluffton Tech. And that being said, we tie things right back up yet again, as that's going to be a touchdown for this Fighting Muskrats. Scott McQuarrie helping to tie things up. So 30 seconds left, and we're going to get FCS East out of their element a little bit because they're actually going to try this thing called passing the football. Imagine that. So let's see how that works out for them. A bold strategy for Cotton is Landward has not thrown the ball very much today. Even after that completion, that's only his 5th pass attempt. They have not thrown the ball very much at all, which is what you expect out of a triple option offense. But apparently we need to get our guys out of that mindset of, hey, we actually got to make sure that we actually get out of that triple option mindset for these last few seconds, because FCS is actually driving down the field. So that being said, Landwehr's going to try to take it himself. He gets out of bounds, and it puts him on the verge of field goal range for FCS East. I don't know how their kicker is, but I certainly don't want to find out necessarily. As now, 1st and 10, Landward looking to the right hand side. Is going to be intercepted. Nash Berte down the sideline. He's got some space to move. Please don't get caught. He won't. Tutty! Nash Berte with a 78-yard pick six, man. Let's go. Let's freaking go, man. Right before the half, we are actually going to retake the lead. And it's been a very exciting first half here in Bluffton, Ohio, as the Bluffton Tech Fighting Muskrats are going to go into the half up 21-14. Can we create some space here in the second half, though? So, speaking of that second half, we'll go ahead and get that party started now, as we're going to go ahead and start things off here. Faking the jet pass, instead handing it off to Will Peoples, who finds a really strong crease and is going to pick up the first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 35-yard line. Armstrong drops back, doesn't like what he sees, just kind of tries to see if Scott McQuarrie can do anything, but that was going to be well covered by FCS East. Instead, it's going to be a 2nd and 10. Armstrong looking to hand it off. No, it's going to be a throw over to the left-hand side, and CJ Peaks, he can scoot a little bit. He does get out of bounds. Does get hit after he got out of bounds, though, but yet they will not provide the roughing penalty for unnecessary roughness. So fans are not too terribly excited about that piece, but with that being said, we're able to move the chains. That's what's important, as hang on now, Chris Gentry could possibly have turned that one loose. He nearly takes that screen pass to the crib, as now we got Ross John, who gets a nice speed boost out of that for whatever reason, able to nearly pick up the first down, and that's going to create a red zone opportunity where I definitely want to finish, man. I definitely want to finish this drive for sure, as they're going to go ahead, try to get it upfield to CJ Peaks, who gets across the 10-yard line. First down for the Muskrats, as they're on the verge of taking a 2-score lead, and we will. That is Will Peoples finding the end zone for us. Touchdown, Muskrats, and Bluffton Tech will indeed extend the lead. So, hey, beautiful execution on that first drive of the second half. Able to score right before the start of halftime, and then coming out of halftime, we also score as well. And so the dynamic of this game all of a sudden is a lot different. We just got to make sure that our defense can hold it down, but sometimes covering the triple option with all of the different choices that you can have is really going to provide with some interesting challenges for sure. But if we can get them in 3rd and longs like that, many times they're going to struggle with picking up those 3rd and longs through the air. So a chance for us to possibly extend the lead even further, but we don't do ourselves any favors though, as even though we'll pick up a 1st down there on that particular throw, it's going to be thwarted by one of our offensive linemen. It's the freshman Andrew Spanway, and he's going to continue to get better. He is just a freshman. Most freshmen don't even see the field in college football, and yet here he is. He's a full-time starter there. He's got some really good potential, but he definitely has a lot to learn as well. But we're able to pick up most of the penalty yardage and then some, though. Able to at least make it 3rd and short. So surely we can pick up 1 yard. We'll see if we can do it as they send the blitz. Oh, we had a man one, but make it open, but we overthrew him. Oh my goodness, if we were able to get that, that was a touchdown. But you know what? We only need 1 yard. I'm feeling a little bit cocky, to be honest. We're going to go for it here, but that is not going to work. That might actually backfire extremely horribly, but hey, you know what, man? As the great Uncle Sam's once said to me, scared money don't make any money. So we'll see if our defense can hold it down here. We do get them to a 3rd and 10. We just can't be beat deep. That's all that I'm literally asking. You have one job, don't get beat deep, and what do? Well, we got beat deeper, and I don't even make the tackle in open field. Oh my goodness, that's all on the user. I don't know who that guy is, but he's an absolute scrub. Put the fries in the bag, bro, when you get back on campus, why don't you? And just like that, FCS East is going to be right back into this thing. So a couple of unforeseen errors means it's 28-21 now. So we'll go ahead and try to get back to our scoring ways here. Hang on now. Will Peoples dropped the Nancy and some spin moves. And now he's going to be gone like a girl in a country song. Touchdown, Bluffton Tech. And the Fighting Muskrats are going to score once again. 35-21. Now going to be your score. It is so refreshing to see this team actually put points up on the scoreboard, man. It really brings joy to my ears. It truly does. So we're up by a couple of touchdowns here. But let's see if we can finish the deal here. You know, we still have a little bit over a quarter left to play. I mean, we've built gaps in this game, but we haven't truly been able to dominate the game. And I want to see my team dominate this final quarter of action. And how is that on us? I literally saw a man false start on the offensive line. That cannot be a penalty against my team. That's crazy. Instead, it's going to be 2nd and 4 here as they're going to try to run it up to go with the fullback. That's a 1st down. And that's going to carry us to the end of the 3rd quarter. It's been a fun one. It's been an exciting day here in Bluffton, Ohio. Can we hold off FCS East in order to win our very first game of the season? So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into that 4th quarter of action. 3rd and 10. Trying to send the pressure, and we get to him. Looks like that might be Xavier Wilson that brought him down on a corner blitz. Finally love to see that pressure getting home, and we were right. It was the senior corner, Xavier Wilson, able to bring him down. And so with that being said, we got a couple of touchdowns on the board. So but for us though, we do end up going 3 and out. So that's not as ideal. But our defense is still holding strong. It's holding firm. 4th and 8 coming up. Just want to try to make sure that we keep everything behind us. But we're going to give up a lot of space here on the corner route. I ran straight. I'm pretty sure I ran mostly straight there. And our guy was just simply not fast enough. Probably should have done a better job of getting some kind of press at the line of scrimmage. But nothing that we can do about it now. The best thing that we can do is make sure we finish this drive with a touchdown. One more touchdown should ice it, but things can always get spicy here in Bluffton, Ohio. You truly, and I mean truly, never know. We're going to go with a little bit of free verts action here as I just get the snap off in time. And look at this. We got an open man downfield. It's caught by Chris Gentry. Good for the first down. And Chris Gentry, just have yourself a day, young fella. As DJ Armstrong puts it right where it needed to be. Not completely in stride, but hey, at least it's not a complete overthrow like what we seen earlier in the game, because we certainly took a risk, because we want to try and stop this clock when we can. But with that being said, 5 minutes left to play and counting. We have a chance to put it on ice. Here we go. Armstrong in the shotgun is going to just hand it off to Will Peoples, who bounces it back inside. Will Peoples will pick up the first down. Is down deep in FCS East territory. We're looking over the middle. This one is going to be caught. Looks like it's going to be CJ Peaks trying to find his way into the end zone. Can't push it in, but we are going to be inside the 1 yard line. And with that being said, fellas, first and goal from the 1. We're going to try to punch this thing in. Let's see if our offense can finish the job. First and goal with less than 3 minutes left to play. And Armstrong is going to go ahead, hand it off up the gut. And Will Peoples finds just enough of a crease in order to find the end zone. Touchdown, Muskrats! And Bluffton Tech is going to expand upon their lead. Bluffton Tech puts up a series high 42 points offensively, as that should be enough to finally put away FCS East. However, with 2 minutes left in the ball game, East is certainly not done yet. We're going to try to put together a little semblance of a drive, as this could be their last gasp of air. 4th and 3 coming up, as FCS East will likely try to pass. Looking to throw over to the right-hand side, but it's broken up by Porter Lindstrid, and that will do it. Bluffton Tech is going to run out the clock, and they will secure their first win of the season, with Will Peoples being named your player of the game. Alright boys, so it was a little bit closer than what I wanted it to be, but that was because we did make some mistakes that, we still need to clean up as the season goes on. Because you take a look at the total offensive differential, we doubled up on FCS East, so this should have been a blowout, and I'm a little bit ashamed that it wasn't, but hey, a win is a win at the end of the day, and that means because we won a game, we don't have to worry about being relegated at the end of the season. Now, checking out the stats for our guys, DJ Armstrong was a solid presence for us yet again. He goes 18 for 30 for 309 yards. Did throw an interception, but he did also throw a touchdown pass as well towards the end of the first half. But the star of the day has to go to Will Peoples, the sophomore tailback. He goes off for 183 yards and 4 touchdowns in this game, man. Will Peoples, they were having a hard time with him, and he absolutely showed it. For the receivers today, CJ Peaks actually led the way in catches today. He had 6 catches for 72 yards. But shout outs as well to Chris Gentry, who did end up catching the most yards today. He had 4 catches, 428 yards. And then Scott McClawler, the junior tight end out of Alabama, he actually had the sole touchdown pass that we were able to throw today. The offensive line overall did play better, but we did allow a couple of sacks. That does belong to Eric Holding, who is a sophomore on this team. Defensively, I was surprised that we did give up more than what we did in the Miami game, but definitely some good performances in here. Nash Burtang not only leading the team in tackles today, but he had that huge pick 6 that allowed us to take the lead towards the end of the first half as well. Joshua Townsend was not too far behind. He had 8 tackles and a TFL. And of course, we had generated a little bit more pressure. I think we end up with 3 total sacks today, although half of the sack was not counted for whatever reason. Xavier Wilson had the only solo sack, but did have some help from the rest of the defense, including Cade Bloom, the junior out of Michigan, Deshaun Weeks, who's a senior, and then Ali McCreary was also able to get to his quarterback as well. He had half a sack, and I believe he had a sack in the last game as well. Now, for those efforts in our very first win of the season, we did end up getting a individual honor for Nash birthday. The sophomore middle linebacker who had multiple TFLs and that pick six, he was honored as the MAC Defensive Player of the Week in this ball game. But not only was that good enough to be the Conference Player of the Week as well, that was also good enough to be the National Defensive Player of the Week going for Nash birthday, a great representative for Bluffton Tech football. And of course, we gotta show some love to the offensive side of the ball, as Will Peoples does end up winning MAC Offensive Player of the Week. Having those 4 touchdowns certainly do help, but it was not enough to get the National Player of the Week. Although I'm really curious to see who won National Player of the Week. Looks like it's gonna go to Landon Sides, the wide receiver out of North Texas, and is certainly earned. He had over 230 yards and 3 touchdowns in the game in a win against Washington State. Now, with that said, we will revive our rivalry game against Toledo in the very next episode. Thought there was going to be a real chance that we were going to see 2 games in this episode, but with that being said, it was more competitive than anticipated. So, the Battle of I-75 lives on, even though Toledo is now part of the Big Ten. And this number 16 ranked team in the nation is going to be coming into town in the next episode. Really looking forward to the opportunity to take on a top 20 team here at home. And we're looking to see if we can notch 2 wins in a row in the next episode. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. And I need you guys to go ahead and do a couple of things for me if you've been enjoying the content and make it all the way through to the end of this video. First of all, you're the real MVP if you made it all the way to the end, but I also need you guys to go ahead and smack that like button, because not only does that let me know that you are enjoying the content, but also letting me know that, hey, this video needs to go out to other people through the YouTube algorithm, more college football fans like yourself. And also, if you've been enjoying the vibes here at the channel, make sure you go ahead, hit that subscribe button. I would truly appreciate that as well. But with that being said, this is John Jake Gaming on the mic signing off. Hope you guys are all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.